evidence. Chapman's uterus was taken. Edo's had her uterus and kidney removed and her face mutilated. Kelly's body was eviscerated and her face hacked away, though only her heart was missing from the crime scene. Historically, the belief that these crimes were committed by the same man derives from contemporary documents that link them together to the exclusion of others. In 1894, Sir Melville McNaughton, Assistant Chief Constable of the Metropolitan Police Service and head of the Criminal Investigation Department, CID, wrote a report that stated the Whitechapel murderer had 5 victims, and 5 victims only. Similarly, the canonical 5 victims were linked together in a letter written by the police surgeon Thomas Bond to Robert Anderson, head of London CID, on 10 November 1888. Some researchers have posited that while some of the murders were undoubtedly the work of a single killer, an unknown larger number of killers acting independently were responsible for the others. Authors Stuart P. Evans and Donald Rumbelow argue that the canonical 5 is a ripper myth, and that while 3 cases, Nichols, Chapman, and Edo's, can be definitely linked, there is less certainty over Stride and Kelly. Unless again,
I've got new Cocoa Pebbles. Looks more chocolatey, tastes better than ever.
But we can't let Biddy or Wilma see the chocolatey color of it.
Hi, fellas.
Close your eyes. Don't look or you'll turn into
A chocolatey monster!
Oh, boy.
Looks more chocolatey.
Have some girls' new Post Cocoa Pebbles cereals, part of a balanced breakfast.
Tastes better than ever. What a delicious feeling. New Cocoa Pebbles.
Sure, tastes better than ever. Looks more chocolatey. Looks chocolately.
After the murders,
The scheme.
Well,
Not as good.
frankly, because
It's generational.
as a result,
You with Mr. Rogers.
this evil man has now
not
ruined
evil.
a generation of kids.
And you know what? I'm with Captain Kangaroo. He was half a generation ahead.
That explains a few things, Steve.
Absolutely, because these experts are saying that the kids of today who grew up with Mr. Rogers were told by him, you're special, just for being who you are. Well, here's the problem. Gets lost in that whole self-business, and the idea that being hard and having high issues for yourself discounted. Mr. Rogers' message was, you're special because you do. He didn't say, if you want to be special, you're going to have to work hard. Now all these kids are growing up and they're realizing, hey, wait a minute. Mr. Rogers lied to me. I'm not special. I'm trying hard, and I'm not getting anywhere.
This comes out of Louisiana State University. A professor there has examined just what damage Mr. Rogers may have done to this whole crop of kids who now feel entitled just for being them. And what he said is, instead of telling them, you know, you're special, you're great, why didn't he just say, you know what, there's a lot of improvement. Keep working on yourself.
Yeah, the world owes you nothing if you're there. You got to prove it. So for now, all these people, these kids are going to college and say, okay, I need an A because I'm special. And they go, no, you got to work hard for it. But actually, this is my generation. I think we're a hard-working generation. I'm with...
conspiracy of the murder of Sharon Tate and 6 others. Those arrested are 2 women and 1 man, and the Los Angeles police said they would ask murder indictments against several others. 5 women are being held as material witnesses.
Don't you think this will be a fancy welcome?
This is where they live, among the stables, barns, and phony buildings of an old rundown movie location 20 miles from Los Angeles. They called themselves The Family. They came and went, and the number varied from 20 to 30. Police said they were a pseudo-religious cult. People who worked on the ranch said they were heavy users of drugs.
They were constantly taking dope and stealing cars, and they just sit around all day and sleep, and that's about it. We went around collecting garbage, and we had that for dinner, and went to the store once in a while, and that was about it. They just slept and got loaded.
The family left the caves they'd been living in on the Swan Movie Ranch in the early fall, after the Tate murders. Later, police raided the ranch and found stolen cars. The family set up another camp in the desert, near Death Valley. 5 members are now in jail on other charges in the desert town of Independence. The family's leader, Charles Manson, is jailed here. It is expected that he will be charged in the Tate murders. People who lived with Manson on the ranch and in the desert denied that they were a violent group.
Well, it's planned. That's what the whole thing is, that we were all in this one out there as planned. You know.
What kind of guy is Charles?
He's a good person. A very good person.
In all kinds of languages.
Was he out there all the time?
I don't even know.
I hope so.
You know,
Now I just
we
wish
take off
you'd
over mountains, that beer. You know, just wander around.
Was anybody stealing anything out there?
What sort of steal? We don't want to bother nobody. You know, all we want to do is get away from this city.
Police apparently got their break in the Tate case when this girl, Susan Atkins, a member of Manson's family, was arrested in another Los Angeles murder and talked to a cellmate about the Tate killings.
Thanks again,
According to the police, and they have in fact shown me some evidence which indicates that they have a reason to believe that she may have been involved in both those other episodes, at least to some extent. I can say this much though, she has at no time ever actually herself physically killed any person.
Are you saying she may have been present, though?
The police evidence as revealed to me would indicate that she was.
Well, I guess I'll just sit here and wait.
And 24 hours later, a second slaying, a middle-aged couple named Lino and Rosemary LaBianca were knifed to death beside their own home.
I've just been waiting and waiting.
The unknown killers left bloody graffiti at both scenes. When the arrest finally came down, the city was stunned. The killers were young, with all-American looks.
You're not Cousin Mary.
One man, 24-year-old Charles Tex Watson, and 3 women, 20-year-old Leslie Van Houten, 21-year-old Patricia Krenwinkel, and 21-year-old Susan Atkins. They could have been the girls next door. Yet, their devotion to an ex-convict named Charles Manson was so extreme, it led them to murder.
It was the first real cult. And these were the first cult killings we knew of in this country.
The very thought of these young women, dressed in black, armed with sharp knives, entering the homes of complete strangers in the middle of the night and mercilessly stabbing them to death. I mean, it's so horrendous a thought. It's difficult to keep a thought like that in your mind for a couple moments.
We will.
At trial, the girls, Susan Atkins, Patricia Krenwinkel, and Leslie Van Houten, seemed not only willing to kill, but to die for Charles Manson.
Charlie would always say, "These are your children, and you threw them out, and I took them." They were the children of America, but he perverted them and corrupted them.
Yesterday you were
and they became
a woman and a
something
man,
else.
a wife and a husband. And today,
Charles Manson began life on the wrong side of the tracks and spent the next 35 years there, in and out of prison, for crimes like forgery and pimping. But the most notorious of the Manson girls who killed, Patricia Krenwinkel, Susan Atkins, and Leslie Van Houten, were children of the middle class. On the surface, they led comfortable lives in California's sprawling post-war suburbs.
We're so excited on the phone, Betty.
Leslie Van Houten was born in 1949, the second of 4 children. She was especially close to her father, Paul, an automobile auctioneer.
She was very happy, outgoing, and very athletic. She seemed to enjoy life. This was sometime without carrying a bandage, and she did break her arm a couple times just by being energetic and being really into whatever she was doing.
She was from a very upstanding family in Monrovia, California. She was a homecoming princess. She was always very, very pretty and very bright.
Patricia Krenwinkel grew up in the Los Angeles suburb of Westchester. She was the daughter of an insurance agent and a homemaker.
To know about this.
That was a darn good
I've got to
kid.
get back to my
Didn't
tree.
complain about
My cousin's
anything.
coming, you know.
No matter where I took her, I never had one bit of trouble with that.
Oh, of course you
Then
are.
something happened that left both girls feeling alienated and angry. By the time they were in high school, Leslie's and Patricia's parents were both divorced.
During the time I was brought up, nothing was talked
Jones, that is.
My parents just was
We're glad you're excited.
talk about problems.
I believe that I was desperately seeking someone that I could love and hold on to and call my own. That somehow my dad leaving had left a space that was very close to me.
Longer than ever to fly here today.
There was a hole.
Exactly.
Both girls began drowning their pain in alcohol and drugs.
When I was about 15 years old, I began using drugs. And something happens when you use drugs. You began to find people who like yourself use drugs.
Meanwhile, as a teenager in Northern California, Susan Atkins chose outright rebellion. She dropped out of high school and found work as a topless dancer in San Francisco.
Susan Atkins was probably the most deprived of all of the women that followed Manson. Her mother died while she was a young teenager. Her mother had cancer. And they told stories about how Susan brought all her friends on Christmas to sing carols under her mother's room at the hospital. She was very affected by the loss of her mother.
1967, the summer of love. For all 3 girls, Leslie, Pat, and Susan, it was their summer of looking for love. Their search took them straight to San Francisco's Haight-Ashbury. By then, 32-year-old ex-pimp Charles Manson was exploring the same streets. Another Manson follower, Lynette Squeaky Fromm, never actually killed for him, but she became one of his earliest followers. Young Lynette's childhood in Los Angeles was overshadowed by her parents' poor relationship. She was quiet and sensitive, but her talents in dancing, drama, and poetry frequently put her center stage. In junior high, Lynette's classmates voted her personality plus.
She came from post-war suburbia, except that this was post-war suburbia in the backyard of Hollywood. And she dated a guy named Bill Siddons, who went on to manage a group called The Doors. She was someone who was extremely familiar with media culture and celebrity culture as just an ordinary, average, expected part of growing up.
Although Lynette Fromm was talented, it became clear that she was also troubled. By senior year, her attendance at Redondo Union High School had become sporadic. At an after-school job, she found a frightening way to express her pent-up emotions.
Several of her friends who were working with her in the shop remember this evening where she took a staple gun and just shot up her arm methodically and didn't flinch at all.
Those who knew Lynette speculated that abusive treatment by her father lay at the root of her pain. The Fromm household had never been warm, but when Lynette was a teenager, her father suddenly stopped speaking to her for 3 years while living under the same roof.
Her father just decided she was not worth talking to anymore, and he decided to exclude her from his life. She wasn't even 100% clear why. She spoke to her mother. If something had to come from her father, she spoke to her mother, and her mother asked her father and then answered Lynn. I mean, you imagine being 13 years old and not being able to talk to your father.
On the streets, it was a time of sexual